I think, Greg, on that, like, I think it's becoming more popular and more recognised for coaches to have coaches, and for me, it's it doesn't have to be you, but I think to have that outside perspective and sounding board, because it is a lonely place at times, and the people within your organisation, whether they like it or not, they've got a bit of an agenda, they've got a bit of bias, they've got some skin in the game.
Yeah.
So to have someone who you can go, or a group of people you can go to for support, who'll tell you straight, good and bad, or positive and negative, whatever it may be. I think is absolutely critical. I would any leader really, but I think head coaches especially. And then the support team I've got around me at work, my assistant coaches. Very, very fortunate. Very, very fortunate. But also it takes courage to admit you need help.
Start of season 2.
Let's go.
Matty Peet, you were my first guest on season 1. Hopefully I'm a little bit more natural now and a little bit more skilled. And I'm so happy that I've got you as my first guest of season 2. One, because I want to talk about the last few years of your life since we started working together, and since you became a young head coach of Wigan Rugby League. And 2, I want to know about next season, and I want to know about your future, because you've had an amazing season which has just gone. And for the viewers that don't know much about Wigan Rugby League, Wigan Rugby League won every single available trophy last year in the sport of rugby league, and over the last 3 seasons since Matty took charge, they've won no less than 7 trophies. Matty, it's great to see you again. We've not seen each other for a while, have we?
We haven't. Pleasure to be here. Been great to see how the podcast is building momentum, some fantastic guests, and pretty prolific how you've attacked it.
Yeah, you've just been on holiday, haven't you?
I have. I've been on a few holidays actually. Well, one holiday with my family, and then a working break that the club took us to New York for a few days. We went to the New York Giants, went to a game, and got around a few organisations. So great learning experience, and we had some fun along the way.
Nice. And you went to Vietnam with your family, right?
I did, yeah.
It pissed down every day.
Not every day. It got better as it went on.
Yeah.
Fantastic time. We had 3 weeks in Vietnam, straight at the back of the season. And brilliant to, I won't say get to know my daughters again, but engage with them properly and play around, and we had some great laughs.
What a beautiful thing to say. That, I guess, I'm not a dad. I guess being a dad, when you're busy like you are, there is a continual process of getting to know them again.
Yeah, and it makes you look sad at the same time, because they come out with things and you think, I didn't realise didn't realise that about you, or I think with having 2 girls as well, sometimes spending time with one of them as on your own, as individuals, because you do so much as a 4.
Right.
So it's the best part of my life. The time I get to spend with them and Becca, and to have 3 weeks dedicated, it's
blessed.
Absolutely.
Well, we'll come back into that, because I know how important family is to you, and I know how important it is for you to weave your family into everything that you're doing within your job as well. Last time I interviewed you, it was it about a year ago? It was actually the start of the season, wasn't it? What's that?
11 months ago now.
Yeah. So 11 months ago, we were in this room. You just won the World Club Challenge, but the season had just started and you hadn't won anything else. And then fast forward to now, your season's just ended and you won every single available trophy.
Yeah. Everyone makes it sound really easy now. Surreal year. Such fine margins in sport, as you know, and there's lots of points in that year that I can look back to, and a lot of fortune involved and decisions that seem to go your way, but I wouldn't change any of it. Love the group that we've got, the playing group, very special, and as you know, the club's very connected, and the group of staff that I get to work with been on a journey a long time, so it's one of those things that people see the success now, but it's probably 15 years in the making. Yeah.
Well, I want to get into the last 3 years of your life and your career since you started, and then I want to talk about the future as well. So almost 3 years to the day, I think it was the end of October, you came to see me in my hometown of Hebden Bridge, and we're walking by the river, and you said, "Don't tell anybody, Craig, but I'm going to get the head coach's job at Wigan." it was almost as if it was a secret. Nobody knew about it. You'd been told to keep it a secret, and you approached me to do some work with you, and I remember you were appointed, and I also remember the rugby league press. Is this a gamble? This guy's come through the academy. He's got a lot of credit within the club, but he didn't play professional rugby league. He wasn't famous. He's not got a lot of experience as a head coach, and I know that you had this quiet determination and self-belief. You knew how good you were and how you could make an impact, but there were some doubters at the time. Fast forward 3 years, and you've totally smashed to smithereens. You and your team, you and Rads, however you want to frame it, you've smashed any doubters out of the water. And in 3 years, 3 seasons, you've really brought Wigan back to the forefront of World Rugby League. And it's great to see. I'm a Wigan lad, and I'm sure a lot of the fans adore you right now. So how have the last 3 years been since the seed of knowing that, wow, at 37, I'm going to be the next Wigan coach?
Has it been? It's been amazing. There's a lot of highs and lows, even though it sounds straightforward now, doesn't it? It sounds like it's been one-way traffic and that we've had everything our own way, but there's still a lot of bumps in that road. So I've learned so much about myself, and so many people to thank. I think I probably learned a lot from Rads and Ian giving me the job, like the conviction they had, and following their gut and being courageous enough to do that, because the doubters really, I was either going to do all right or I was going to get flicked, but for the club it's an institution, isn't it, in the town, and
of course,
although he's saying how I thought I was, I was confident.
Yeah.
I just felt I knew how the club should look, should feel.
Yeah.
And I thought I could lead it and guide it, and I suppose that was my strength, along with Rad's, is quite opinionated. Not bothered whether I'm the one leading from the front, or as long as things are going in the right direction. So
what would your 37-year-old self say to your 40-year-old self if he was looking at you right now? Like, what would he say to you?
Keep going.
What else?
Keep your head down. Yeah, keep going. Yeah.
What would he praise you on?
Probably my resilience and discipline. Resilience, I think, is the big one. In a leadership position, in the times where you might have doubts, and you've got to exude confidence in the plan and keep people enthusiastic and not overreact. And I feel like that's one of the things that we've done well as an organisation, is if you walk into the environment at the moment when we've just won 4 competitions, hopefully it doesn't feel too different to when we've just lost a couple of games. Try and remain a steady ship, prioritise connection and enjoyment and learning. And I think coming to see you was probably one of the most important decisions of my life. And Dan Sargentson asked me actually, he said, do you think you would have been so successful if you hadn't engaged with Craig? And I said to him straight away, absolutely not. And having them mentors, I think yourself, Rads, Wayne, has been probably the most important thing that I've ever done. And adding you to, I was already very close with them, and the trust was huge, but probably adding another perspective from outside the club, outside the sport, who can challenge me on probably the areas away from the game, and that have been the most important for me, I think.
Well, I appreciate you saying that, mate. You didn't have to say that. It touched me. Thank you so much, and it's a pleasure. I hope we can go to another level next season in terms of the way I support you.
I think, Greg, on that, I think it's becoming more popular and more recognised for coaches to have coaches, and for me, it's it doesn't have to be you. But I think to have that outside perspective and sounding board, because it is a lonely place at times, and the people within your organisation, whether they like it or not, they've got a bit of an agenda, they've got a bit of bias, they've got some skin in the game.
Yeah.
So to have someone who you can go, or a group of people you can go to for support, who'll tell you straight, good and bad, or positive and negative, whatever it may be. I think he's absolutely critical. I would any leader really, but I think head coaches especially.
Well, good on you for putting a team around you. You've got people like Raj, you've got people like Wayne, you've got me, and you've also got a personal trainer now. So good on you for taking that off your plate really, and letting someone else to kind of guide you in those areas. I think every top leader should do that, to be honest.
Yeah. And then the support team I've got around me at work, my assistant coaches. Very, very fortunate. Very, very fortunate. But also it takes courage to admit you need help as well. So, you make your own luck.
Looking at last season, without digging too much into it, because I'm more interested in the next season coming and what you're going to do differently and the insights around that. But looking at last season, I know that you think holistically, and I want you to think holistically. Give me 5 reasons why you were successful. Generalise, but give me 5 reasons.
The number one reason would be connection.
Connection. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, I've had the opportunity. I've been privileged this year. We've had a documentary team film us throughout the whole season. It's gonna be really special, I think. But I get to watch a lot of my pre-match talks back, halftime talks. And I send them to you, and you give me feedback, and especially in the big games.
Yeah.
And if I look at the Penrith game, Challenge Cup final, the grand final, it's almost the same team talk. It's almost the same focus.
Yeah.
That whatever we do, the other team are probably doing something pretty similar.
Yeah.
But maybe we just remember how much we care about one another.
Yeah.
Just remember how much we care about the town, the supporters, the rest of the club staff. That sense of purpose, other than winning a ring or a medal. Think how many people are on this journey with us. I think it would be the number one.
It's just, if we just stay in that for a moment, because I want viewers to get some value out of this in terms of how they can build better leaders themselves. What I've seen in you is, let's say the talks, for example, there's obviously more to connection than a team talk, but a team talk that, especially the ones in the big games that you sent to me, compared to the first ever ones that you sent to me, there's not a hugely different message, but the way you are connected to each person in that dressing room has improved beyond belief, because connection it's a physical phenomena. It's something that we feel, and it's not possible to really connect and see and transmit to another if we're not connected to ourselves. Now, we could do a whole fucking podcast on that, and it's not easy to explain to people, but ultimately you have to be connected to yourself, i.e. who you are, what you identify with, the way your thoughts pan out, the way your life's been shaped, your patterns of thinking, your patterns of feeling, being comfortable with all the emotions that run through your body, being grounded in your body, in your posture, being connected to something that's greater than you, and then having the courage to stay connected with your players through your heart, through your breath, through your hands, through the way you look at them and see them and what you say to them. So again, we touched on this before in the last podcast. I'll always bring you back to that, how are you connected to yourself, sleep, connection to nature, time with your family, time with your beloved dog, yoga, contemplation, little micro meditations, just grounding back into your body, postural exercises, etc. There won't be a lot of rugby league coaches that are aware of the importance of that type of work, but more importantly, how it transmits to others. Because you sent me I think it was the semi-final talk in the dressing room, and it actually brought me to tears. The way you, and I know you don't like praise sometimes, the way you were grounded, the way you played with energy, the way when you transmitted something, you looked at every single human being, the way that in your dialogue, you managed to drip into your dialogue everybody's name so that nobody left out, the way you laser beamed your focus and eye contact, and how you use touch. So it's really great to see that. So well done.
Thank you, and thanks for the guidance along the way. I think that point you make about knowing each individual.
Yeah.
A stranger walks in, delivers the same talk in the same manner. Posture is the same, body language is the same. It wouldn't have the same feel.
No.
And sometimes I watch the footage back and it doesn't feel like it felt.
Mm-hmm.
But in the room, between us, who've been on this journey,
yeah,
who've shared so many memories, deep conversations. I share with the players, and I'm vulnerable with them as well. So
yeah,
hopefully they'll want to help
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
They know I want to help them.
Yeah.
So and ultimately they've got permission to fail.
Yeah.
It's not, if we don't win this, lads.
So that could be number 2, right? Permission to fail.
Yeah, prioritising learning.
Yeah.
I think that's the same thing.
Yeah.
We talk about, and again, sometimes I sound like a broken record when people ask me about our goals, because until the end of the year, we didn't have lots of pictures of trophies up on the wall.
Yeah.
As in, we're going to win everything this year.
Yeah.
Once the opportunity came around, we said, can't miss this. But it was about being the best learners we could be, setting them the environment to learn, feeling safe to fail, help each other learn. Once you prioritise learning in your environment as opposed to winning, that's where the consistency comes.
Yeah.
And it's difficult when you lose a couple on the bounce.
Yeah.
Sometimes you play shit.
Are there any other leaders or professional coaches influence you in that domain, this kind of prioritising learning over winning? Did you pick it up from anybody?
I think that higher purpose, I feel like I'm thinking Pete Carroll.
Yeah.
Is it Win Forever, his book?
Yeah.
I've heard other people, I think purpose now is quite a common theme. It's in vogue, isn't it?
Of course.
But I think that one, like prioritising being competitive, like Sean Wayne, like as long as he sees you compete, he wants to win more than anybody, but he'd probably rather lose and see you compete as hard as you possibly could than fudge a win.
So you've kept that obviously in the organisation. It's a kind of cornerstone of Wigan Rugby League, isn't it?
Yeah, it goes back.
So let's go back to
it goes back. That's an important point you make there, Craig, with the club and the town. One of our missions is we want to be a sense of pride for this town. You could win, but if you don't play in a certain style and you don't have that Wigan grit and determination, you're not doing the town justice.
Yeah, and it falls into your recruitment as well, doesn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. I think, again, Wayne and Rads, if I threw up a player when I was running the academy, they'd ask, was he competitive?
Yeah. Before
they would ask if he was fast.
Yeah.
After that, all the other things, all the other questions, but competitive nature would be number one.
Okay. So going back to the 5 areas that I know it's hard to answer, so many, but 5 areas where you think you were successful and underlying why you may have been so successful and got them trophies. Number 1, team connection. Number 2, creating a learning environment over a winning environment. Obviously, they go hand in hand. Number 3, being ultra competitive in everything that you do. 2 others?
I think that making the town, being a sense of community pride. And
could number 4 be alignment? Because from the outside looking in, you and Raz have done, and Wayne, you've done amazing from, the young kids and community all the way up. you know, through the age grades and the female and the male and the town and the amateur, you seem to have got alignment and the owners on board.
Yeah, and when it's done well, it's like a golden thread, isn't it, that runs?
Yeah.
I could name 100 people, you know, and hopefully as managers and as leaders that we make them all feel part of it. And there's a lot goes into that, you know, especially as the club's growing now with, you know, I think there's 14 teams and we have events where every team trains together. The ladies team's going through the roof. And the ladies game actually, through the borough, has been inspirational. And I could be wrong, but I think the way our attendance are growing, if you think that with the games opened up, there's so many ladies teams through the borough now, new sets of families, new sets of volunteers, coaches. It's almost doubled the amount of people engaged with the sport, and that's bound to filter back through to the club.
Yeah, amazing.
I've got to. I don't know where we're up to with counting
Number
numbers
four.
now.
Number 4.
That's
One more.
No, I'll give you 2 more.
Go on, 6 then.
I think it'd be leadership, as in the leadership, the senior players in the group.
Yeah, of course.
And how they grip the team and guide it.
And how you allow them to do that.
Yeah. And again, that works both ways. It starts with Lockers and Tommy do a good job for me bridging the gap. Then it's Liam Farrell, senior players, Liam Marshall. I could go on.
Well, they're part of the alignment tree, aren't they?
Yeah, bang on. And it works like a web, doesn't it? Runs through the club.
Yeah.
Carries them same messages. And as so many people mention in coaching, if you're not there, how does it run? Yeah. And I'm very confident that it would run very, very smoothly, and you know, quite often, whether it's half time or whenever it may be, training huddles, myself and the coaches walk over, the players are onto it, and that's when you know you're onto a good thing. Yeah.
So that's number 5. What's the last one?
I think the diversity of the team.
Okay. Talk to me about that.
I think we celebrate it. Cultural differences, age differences, different backgrounds, and I think the leadership group's a good example of it. But I think back to the Challenge Cup final, and Willie Isa did the shirt presentation. So he was injured at the time, Willie. He's one of our leadership group, and I went to him in a couple of weeks out. You do a shirt presentation night before the game. Get anyone in, can't you? It's a big game. Past players, celebrities. But we've got one of our leadership group out for the season injured. Willie, I'd love you to do it. Yeah. So I said a few times I go to him, do you need any help? And I've got it, boss, got it. All good. And then we get to the hotel in London night before the game. And I see Willie scurrying around. And so proud. A circle of chairs. So obviously he's learned about how to hold meetings. Just absorb stuff as a player. Yeah. And then he had every nationality that we had in the team. He'd placed the flags down on the floor, and including the Aboriginal flag for Bevan French. And then he just made a fantastic speech about basically being yourself and what being yourself means. You know, it's not just being yourself, is it? It's representing your family and your heritage, and then after the game, you saw the players celebrate with the flags and Swaziland flag, Cameroon flag. And so on, Lebanese flag. Yeah. Some not typical rugby league nations, but I think to tap into that, bring another strength to your connection.
For sure. I remember you sending me that video. That also made me cry.
Unbelievable. It was probably one of the proudest moments in coaching because it was a player doing something that I know he'd taken inspiration from. It was almost like everything we've been saying for the last few years about, you know, and he brings a lot to the table anyway, Willie Isa, but it was like, they get it. Yeah. Even the way he set you know, some people just having a meeting in a meeting room. Yeah. And the chairs would have been in a normal way, but the way he set it up outside under some trees and,
It's also they get it. That word, they get it. It's also testimony to you and your key staff as well, because you've heard me say this before. They can't be what they can't see, and when you and your staff are modelling, and when I say modelling, I mean even the way you carry yourself and the way you speak and the way you deliver and the way you and your staff care about your players, and the way you hold yourself, how integral you are, the way you keep your word. You know, the players are downloading that all the time. That in itself is learning. So yeah, I think your staff have to take quite a lot of credit for the way the team leads itself.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that's a big part of my role now, is I've got a fantastic staff, so it's encouraging them to develop, giving them room to fail as well.
Yeah.
You know, just this morning we were laughing about a meeting I delivered a couple of years ago, and it fell flat on its arse. And it's okay.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can want to step in and stop, and you didn't quite get that right, but it's like a player dropping a ball.
Yeah.
The staff I've got, they'll reflect on, didn't know, like,
yeah,
I'll walk off the field with Tommy and look, I could have done that a bit better. What do you think? Like, yeah, maybe. How would you do it better? And it's safety. So much of it, you know, you can, because we're connected. The safety is there to have. If you make a mistake, where professional sport, it can be quite cutthroat. People jostling for position and fearing for the role. So probably a little bit protective. I've seen that firsthand in sports where if the session's a 90-minute session, coaches are almost fighting for the next 5 minutes or the opening the meeting. But it's definitely a collaboration.
How much self-awareness have you cultivated in the last 3 years as a coach and a father and a friend and a son and a man? Like, do you know yourself? It never ends, does it? But do you know yourself better now than you did 3-4 years ago?
Yeah. It's a good point. Probably don't stop and think about it that much, but yeah, I think having mentors, you know, people you check in with on how you're doing, will tell you the truth. You know, again, positive and where you can improve. Is a big one. The work we do, obviously, I think we've gone quite deep.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's probably she'll tell me there's more levels to go, and the retreat that we did, I often laugh with people about how far out your comfort zone that is, and I'm quite childish, right? And I'll fool around, but I noticed since I've been on the retreat, I'll fool around even more. I take myself less seriously.
Yeah, good.
Dancing around, being playful, trying things, pushing the edge of the comfort zone, because I've been that far out of my comfort zone. You know, I'm probably hard to embarrass now.
Would you say you've got more range of expression? What I mean by that is, imagine 10 years ago you behave a certain way, you do things a certain way, and you know you're in a box. And I believe the best leaders, when I say best, I mean the ones that create safety, caring, empowerment, you know, integrity, etc. They have range.
Yeah.
You know, they have range. They can be commander when they want to be a commander. They can be the joker when they want to be the joker. They can be the mystic when they want to be the mystic. They can be quiet when they want to be quiet. They can be the enforcer and etc. Do you think you've got more range?
Yeah, definitely.
And how does that make you feel, knowing that you've got more range?
Confident enough to follow my intuition.
Confident is the default, isn't it?
Yeah, I think when you know you've got range, you can walk into a room with a plan, but you can be willing to keep it in your pocket and open the room up and go off plan. Maybe come back to it, and you can be willing to ask proper open questions where anything can come back at you and you're comfortable to handle it. I think 5-10 years ago I would have been majority straight lines, direct, authority. This is the plan, this is the way we're going. I thought I was collaborating with people, but I probably wasn't. And I think through all sorts of things, some of the things we've mentioned, yoga, breath, whatever.
Yeah.
I think nature was a big one. I think COVID and the way people got out in nature, and probably people, even my mates who would go out for a walk, have a chat, a bit more open.
Yeah.
Having daughters, I think, opened you up again.
Yeah.
Because you've got to open up a side of yourself that you probably didn't do before. When like I've never had any female friends.
Yeah.
And
Of course.
Three of my best friends.
So how was having two amazing daughters and a beautiful wife made you a better coach?
Well, it opens you up to that feminine energy, which some blokes have sisters, don't they?
Yeah.
I had my dad, my brother, and 5 uncles.
Wow.
Played rugby league, male coaches. So when I look back to high school and all that, probably clashed, if anything, with female teachers.
Yeah, me too.
Whereas my PE teacher, blokes, history, I would respect them, and I would put up with the female teachers. Yeah. That's just the way it was. Well, now the three most important people to me, who I respect, learn from, want to set an example to. Obviously female. So and just by being in the house, listening to Taylor Swift all day, going to dance class, dancing with them, being playful, makeup, it's amazing how I got into that. It just softens you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It makes you cringe sometimes when you think about how ultra masculine it can be sometimes in a rugby environment.
Yeah, but you don't. But even though you open up to this domain, the sensitivity, the spontaneity, the non-linear ways of being, the allowing, the patience, you don't lose your masculine core. Exactly. You just keep that.
Yeah.
A lot of men are frightened of that domain because they think they'll lose the masculine core, but you don't lose it. And the two, hand in hand, the hard and the soft, the tough and the gentle, are a phenomenal combination.
Absolutely. And because some of the players you'll coach, take it back to coaching, they might have come from a family where they might have had 5 sisters and only had a mum.
Yeah.
So they might respond to that. And everyone needs it. Everyone needs a bit of softness and care and attention. I've had the amount of knocks on the door I've had in the last 3 years of pregnancies, miscarriages, losing parents,
emotional crisis.
Exactly. And if you mismanage one of those with a player, I think it could spread through the group,
and it could be mismanaged.
Easy.
If a guy knocks on the door, whether it's a player or your son or your daughter or however, and the sensitivity and the emotions, and there's a sense of chaos. If we try and if we devalue that, typical masculine bloke, or we try and fix that like something to be fixed, there's a danger there. When somebody knocks on your door and they're emotive and sensitive and lost, it needs to be held. It doesn't need to be fixed.
Absolutely.
Held and nurtured.
And it just feel like a safe space.
Yeah.
A rugby club can feel like a safe space to talk about these things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Without making it soft, I often said to players, we know how tough you are. So it's that's why you're here. We've spoke about it.
Yeah.
Every one of them we've selected because they're tough bastards. They're very, very competitive.
Well, knocking on your door and asking for help is tough.
Exactly. And me and Becca, we lost a baby this year, and I asked her permission, and I told the group about that.
Yeah. Just
because I thought it was important to set the example.
Yeah.
Of it being, if I straight away I thought, if I don't tell the group about this, they're how can I expect them to?
Well, that's leadership right there. That's leadership. We don't need to write a book on leadership. That's it.
Yeah. So, and the amount of players who came to me and said, "After thanks for sharing that with us." They obviously had a chat with Becca, the wives, the families of the club involved. So, I don't know. I just thought it was the right thing to do. You can't expect players to share with you.
Yeah.
If it doesn't go the other way.
Yeah. Yeah. Good on you. You've done that a lot, haven't you? That's. I think that's become a superpower of yours. It might be tricky in the beginning when you first try it out, but maybe when you started to work with me and I was recommending things, you were like, fucking hell, really?
Yeah.
But I think that's one of your superpowers now.
Yeah, I think so. And I think it sounds strange, but when you're comfortable in the other parts of your role, like your technical, your tactical, the team's winning, they know you can be hard when you need to be. I think to then show the vulnerable, this certainly for me makes it feel more comfortable. To then show that vulnerable side, I think if you're talking about like our players, Wigan Warriors, aren't we?
Yeah.
But there's not just one side to a warrior. There's not just a fighter, is there? There's
exactly.
There's the father or the protector or whatever it might be. So that's the way we run the club, and I think it certainly runs throughout the club. It's not just a performance thing.
Yeah.
Like I say, I can't speak highly enough about the leadership of the club.
Yeah. All right. So you just started pre-season.
Mm-hmm.
You've got another season now coming up. You've just had one of the most successful seasons ever. You're the world champions. You won back-to-back Super League grand finals for the first time as a Wigan club. You've not signed any new players, really. Now, that excites me. It excites me because it's like, well, boom, 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 not many influences, not many factors that could separate the dynamics of the team. That excites me, but it excites me because of what I do for a living. I think, wow, you can go really deeper with that. But I'm sure there's other fans, I guess, or people looking in thinking, wow, Warrington have signed these players, KR have signed these players, Wigan have not signed anybody. Like, they're going to be under pressure next year. And obviously you will be under pressure. But my question, which we touched on last time, but now it's more relevant, is you and I know that every man, every team needs a fucking really big challenge that's bigger than themselves, that scares them to move into and move through and win on the other side of that challenge. How do you create that sense of challenge this year? Like, what are the areas in which you can grow? And before you answer that question, to the audience, especially if the coaches or leaders watching, Matty's going to answer this question based on how he sees leadership. It might not be the way you see leadership, and that's why self-awareness is so important as a leader, because you can't copy Matty Peet. You need to find out who you are and how you lead based on your blueprint and your DNA as a leader. So I'm asking you, as you right now, and the way you see the world and leadership, how do you and the Wigan team create the same success and win all trophies again? What do you focus on?
Yeah. First of all, we might not win them all.
Yeah, you might not.
There's a good chance we won't.
Yeah.
And we speak about that. Learning, isn't it?
Yeah.
If we double down on the learning, deeper connections.
So double down on the learning, deeper connections. Where else can you learn more?
Where can we learn more? Well, we lost quite a lot of games last year. In some games we got battered.
Yeah.
So straight away we've got our worst performances can't be as bad as they were last year. So that means upskilling our young players and winning. We didn't win games in Hull last year. We lost our away games in Hull. So I could pick into technical and tactical, but fundamentally,
just dig into a few things. It's interesting you say that about the young players, actually. So are you saying that when the young players are needed, they need to be on it more?
Yeah. Well, last year our young players were very young. Just the way our squad was made up. So we had a Jack Fireman who played. He's a scrum half last year. He was 17, 18, and he had some fantastic games. But sometimes he was in there it was a young scrum half, a young hooker, young fullback. So in the leadership positions, in the decision-making positions, we were very young. They'll be better without us working on them. They've got them games under the belt now. But as well, we're going to work on them and develop them and improve our emerging leadership group. So that would be one. I think there's things we can look at off the field and how we manage certain fixtures. I think a goal for us has to be build our attendances.
Yeah.
Which not many teams want to talk about, I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we're there to entertain, we're there to inspire, and there's so much we can do, which feeds into that, the way we play, but also our community engagement.
Mm-hmm.
And I know the club's got big plans, which I'm an advocate of. Our community engagement can go deeper as well.
Right.
As in, everyone says they quite often go to presentations and appear at fun stuff, but maybe there's big issues we can tackle and make a difference. This town, for as much as Friday nights at the Brick are fantastic, there's some people going through real hardship in all different aspects of the town. So I think we can help there, and if you do that, like,
yeah,
you can't really, if we're inspiring the town,
we're
learning,
yeah,
we're enjoying our work.
Yeah.
When we do lose games, we're still going to do it with a sense of purpose, aren't we?
Yeah. Well, actually, as you say those things, like, getting out into the community, inspiring the town, what you put out comes back to you. You'll also be inspired. Now, people could watch this and think, oh, Matt is such a nice guy, and you are a nice guy, but you also, because you're smart, in my opinion, you actually have the vision to relate those things to performance on the pitch.
Yeah.
Can you talk a bit about that?
I spoke about it to the players this morning, actually. So, in our pre-season, there's blocks, weights, skills, so on, yoga, etc. And there's quite regular community engagement. The players buy into it, they nail it. I was speaking to Tyler Dupree. He's a young, up-and-coming.
Yeah.
He's played for England.
Yeah.
But his best years are ahead of him, front rower. And he's great in the community. Patrick Maygo's another. Engaged with people, when he meets someone, he really cares, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We've got a lot of players like that. And say Tyler's on the bench and he stands up to warm up, the crowd go mad.
Yeah.
Because they love him.
Yeah.
And then the energy in the stadium lifts.
And their attendances go up.
But as well, like, you're more chance to win when there's energy in the stadium.
Yeah.
Bevan French gets the ball.
Yeah.
He likes to play. So, we've got players who bring energy to the game. And I think the way they engage with the town, the fact that they're so open with the fans after the games. It's a long time since you saw people queuing up for autographs for 20-30 minutes after the game.
Yeah. I can last remember that when I was a kid.
Exactly. So it pays you back, and it's like a snowball effect then, because there's more kids playing rugby league in the town.
Yeah.
So then we get better players into our academy. The junior competition goes up. More people buying merchandise. It's only a good thing, and I think it can have a ripple effect through not just our club, but hopefully through the rugby league and the rest of the competition. There's other clubs doing a lot of great work as well. I think community engagement is a strength for our sport.
So as a club, you'll have certain things that go well, methodologies, systems, routines, ways of doing things, and it's important to keep those going, isn't it? You can't just reinvent the wheel completely every year. What's going well deserves to be strengthened even more. Tell me a couple of things, without giving too many secrets away, a couple of areas that go really well for you, and they'll stay in the programme and you'll make them even stronger.
Yeah, we've had a lot of discussions since the end of the season about how much we evolve as opposed to, evolution, not revolution kind of thing. So our DNA would be defence first mindset.
Yeah.
That would be. I think our defensive record's pretty good in big games, and anyone who knows, I'd imagine it runs across sport, but certainly both codes of rugby. The teams that win the competitions generally can withstand pressure without conceding points.
Yeah.
So that would be it. That comes from embracing collision.
Yeah.
So we train tough in terms of our physicality, and Sean O'Loughlin is a great leader in that area for us. So yeah, that would be one defence for us, but then the ability to express yourself with the ball. So we have a structure, and everyone knows the role, everyone commits to the role, but you've also got the freedom to break out of it, you know, and it suits the players we've got. You know, I'm not foolish. If we didn't have as much talent as we did, we might rein it in a little bit, and it's pissing down, we rein it in a little bit, and if we're not playing as well, or then we rein it in a little bit. But the goal that we want to get to, the vision, is defend tough, you know, and then when you earn the right to play, you know, express yourself. That's why you're here. And I think the other thing, you know, we'll just be trying to carry ourselves with a bit of integrity, and particularly when we lose.
Okay.
I think that's one of my biggest roles, is how I handle defeat. You know, I don't want to. Just want to try and carry ourselves right, and that's probably going to come in it.
100%.
I think trying to stay level.
All right. One area where you can be innovative. One area where you can try something different. Where you want to try something different. Where you can go to an edge and take a risk.
I think on the field.
Whatever. On the field, off the field.
We've spoken quite a lot about giving even more ownership to the players. And how we do that.
Across the board, you mean, on the field, off the pitch?
Yeah.
I think that's a natural evolution as well, to be honest.
Because if you look at Harry Smith, for an example, he's approaching his prime years now. He's probably needed a bit more information, certainly 3 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, his relationship with past coaches, and now Tommy's smart. You know, he knows when to ask, but also Harry's very, very smart. Jay feels very smart. Bevan French, and between them three, they probably got all the answers. So how we get that out of them? Yeah, you know, and
what a fascinating area to dive into. I love that. Yeah. I love that you've mentioned that. It's fascinating.
It's fascinating because you can't just give them everything.
No.
And they don't always want everything either.
Yeah.
There'll be some weeks Harry Smith can't be arsed taking the video meeting.
Yeah, of course.
And I don't mean that. I mean, he just had a kid.
Yeah.
You know, and he might be tired. He might be playing busted. So it's from us as a staff, there's a skill to it. We won't always get it right. So, but yeah, we've got an intelligent playing group that we've got to empower more. And then we're constantly looking at, I think, last players. You look at what's happening at Rugby Union now, the battle in the air, and we've got to improve our discipline. I think we were the most penalised team in the competition last year.
Right.
Well, we were. So that's an area which should be a relatively easy fix for us if we put our focus on it.
Defensive penalties.
A lot of it would be, which is fascinating because we won the competition. You would think it would be impossible.
Yeah.
So we've got to get that right. So there's loads of areas to improve, but none of them would be too. I don't think there'd be anything different to most.
What about you? What's the one area where you can innovate more yourself and get better and get more refined as a leader and a boss and a coach and a dad? One area. Well, there's no separation, is there? You know that.
No. It's hard to nail it down to one. That's all. Good question. Most of what I'm looking into at the moment is around innovation and creativity. So I've got a few things lined up. Going to Google, for example, and just trying to make sure that I'm thinking in an innovative way, in a creative way, rather than becoming I'd hate to become fixed, and I've become. I suppose I'm seeking freshness still with the playing group and the staff, and I think that's my main focus, certainly in the next year or two. And then on a more technical level, I think just keep getting knowing when to influence, timing. Quite often when we do feedback sessions with the coaching staff, they like it when I'm more hands-on in the field sessions, and so trying to get that balance right. That's why I'm in the role ultimately.
Yeah,
I love coaching, and so getting that balance right with the other coaches, communicating with my staff. So yeah, there's lots to go at.
Okay. The communication one is a huge piece, isn't it? It's like never ending, isn't it? I mean, it's in a good way. Like it's like you're getting better now, but you could be so much better.
Yeah,
you could be so much deeper. You could be so much more connected, even though you're connected. You know.
I think the hard thing with it is when you're fresh and you've slept well and you've won, and you've got a long turnaround. Things are all right at home. Everyone pretty easy.
Yeah.
Pre-season, plenty of meetings. Everyone's dialed in. But you get to around 15, 16, and for whatever reason, the energy's off. My energy's off, and you only need to miss one discussion with a physio or your assistant, or be a bit flippant or a bit casual with someone. And it's hard to.
Yeah.
So a lot of it comes back to not just me looking after myself, but making sure my staff are looking after themselves, making sure they're rested. Yeah. And then making sure you have the check-in at the start of the day. Is everyone all right? Is everyone all right? What's going on?
Human check-in.
And then start talking about business and getting the formality stuff out the way, like being organised enough, to make sure everyone knows. Sounds obvious, but you're on a 4 or 5 day turnaround, 20 games, and it can sometimes get missed, and then it can lead to a lack of clarity. Yeah, I think clarity in an organisation like ours, whether it's staff to staff, me to the board, me to a player to me, I think clarity of communication is it's a big one.
And we never talk about this that much, and I know you don't talk about it so much in the press that you do, or TV or anything like that, but you're 40 now, aren't you? Where do you see yourself at 50? And over the next 10 years, I know you're not going anywhere. You love this club and you'll hit this club for a while. You signed a long contract, but where do you see yourself in 50, at age 50, and what are your aspirations over the next 10 years?
Firstly, I'm not opposed to being at Wigan beyond this contract. I like the direction the club's going in. I want to help build, and I just want to keep coaching. I do feel I've got a strength in bringing teams together, but might be in rugby, might not.
So if you weren't working in rugby 10 years from now, what would you be doing? Just play with it.
We're running some overseas experiences with you, Craig. We're taking people all over the world. And no, obviously I'm passionate about travelling, passionate about coaching. So opportunity to combine them two things would be great. And, not necessarily within sport, but like anything, the family will come first. And
so, what if you was working outside of sport? What would you be doing?
I always joke with my missus about being a head teacher at a school. Probably couldn't get on the relevant courses to get the qualifications, but I think that I see a lot of similarities. Yeah. Working with young people, developing skills and talents, managing staff, but budgets might fall down. Yeah, probably a bit. But I think that sense of leadership, but like it's got some sense of community. Yeah. I keep telling Becca I'll be a politician, but she's having none of it.
Well, from my perspective, whatever you do, you'll end up building a family somewhere else. Whether it's a corporate gig or a sports team or a different sports team, because that's what you do. That's what you do best. Because the word family is infused into your DNA. So for me, you could build a family in any domain, in any sphere of professionalism.
Thank you.
No worries. Okay, so almost coming to the end. Talk to me about, I know you mentioned it at the start, talk to me about the importance of head coaches, CEOs, business owners, etc., having someone in the corner, having a mentor in the corner who they can bounce ideas off, who they can ball to, who they can scream to, who they can celebrate to, who they can be themselves with. Talk to me about the importance of that.
All I can say is that I couldn't do it, without having people to speak to, and particularly an external influence with a range of skills from who's got experience in a similar domain, but I think fresh perspective. It might not be that for everyone, Craig. I'm very curious. I don't like being still or repetitive, and I've got an active mind, so the thought of I don't think I'll ever be completely comfortable in my own skin in some ways. I'll always wonder what I'm missing out on. So that might not be the same for everyone, but I think some people might find it in the way of a close friend or companion, but personally I think professional coaches, especially CEOs, probably the same. Business owners would benefit, but it's getting the right person, isn't it?
Of course.
I dropped on.
Well, it's definitely also been a pleasure for me supporting you, mate. And let's go again. I look forward to the next 12 months. And I look forward to going to the lakes tomorrow with you for a couple of days to get out into nature and to unpack that mind of yours and to look ahead to the future and see how I can continue supporting you. It's been a pleasure, and long may it continue.
Thanks, mate.
So I hope you've enjoyed this episode of the Dare to Be Different podcast. See you on the next one.